we had we had this breaking news a week and a half ago. So yes, Megan and Oscar were married a week and a half ago. It was an exciting event.
That was fun.
And yeah, that was one of the best
here in
pictures.
Boquete.
Right here in Boquete. I like that shot.
Yeah, it's a good shot. Okay.
Look at me. I'm walking like I just like I won the I did won the lottery a long time ago with her.
Yeah. So we've been kind of busy, but we are back at it. We start a tour tomorrow.
Yes.
We don't just do tours. We're not here to sell you tours, although if you stay around the end of the tour, I have one to sell you. Everyone knows that we're sold out 100%, but there's a tour spot. I'm not even going to tell you what it is, so no one tries to
You
sneak
can always
it
get
in.
on our backup list. They, spots become.
But what this call is about you guys. And there's two ways you can ask your questions. One, you can raise your hand. If you all look down at the chat, there's a happy face. Click on the happy face and then raise hand. If you raise your hand, we're going to bring you onto the call with your microphone and camera. Or you can type your question in the chat. You don't have to show your camera if you don't want to, but at least you'll be on with the microphone and you'll ask. So, and we got some people who are dialed in. For them, there's nothing we can do. The dial-in people just get to listen. Okay, so where should we start? Now, we have some technical challenge. Hey, we live in that world right now. That Mike Vitovich from Inside Panama was supposed to be joining us at the beginning of this call. He has had an issue with his, he's no longer a presenter. So maybe he tried to log off. Yeah. Vicky. Hey, Vicky.
There he is.
There he is. And turned on those permissions again.
Wait, you didn't click make presenter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, so if you figure out how to turn on your mic and your camera mic, we will carry on with your stuff. So I'm going to give you some time rather than, it's always nice to know what's going on. If you're moving here, your number one big expense is housing, whether you're going to rent or whether you're going to buy. It's, what are the numbers? About half people end up buying, sometime.
Yeah.
And about half people rent for the rest of their lives. Hey, if you're receiving a pension, why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people that just don't want to get attached or with an asset like a real estate asset, and they just want to have the freedom. They want to move somewhere else in 1 year, in 6 months. They can just do it, pack it up, go find another place for rent. You don't have to deal with the maintenance, nothing of the house. That's just some of the people. That's the point of view, and it's very fair. Other people just rather to own a property just because they really want to have that security. But we always suggest to make sure you try it out first. What location in this country is going to be the place for you to live? You gotta always be 100% sure on that one. Well, Panama is also a beautiful country for opportunities and investment. There's a lot of things going on. Right, Roddy?
Right. Now, when I sent out the first email about this, I can't spell the word questions. I asked people if they wanted to reply back some topics that they wanted to talk about, and we have that list right in front of us now. So we're going to start with that list as you guys decide who's going to be the first to raise their hand and ask a question or type your question in the chat. You can do both. If you've already typed your question, you can raise your hand and ask it, and we'll just I
did see one or two come through, so they're starting.
Now, John asked, by the way, you can ask us anything. We answer every single question, no matter what. Like some of these questions, some people might not like or whatever. It doesn't matter. If you're moving to Panama, we want to help you. So John has asked, how do I register a firearm with Panamanian authorities? This is a very contentious issue in Panama compared to the U.S. There's no gun culture here. Majority of people, a large majority of people do not own a firearm. It's typically just not needed for protection here. Our government does not even have a military, so we can't use that excuse. But it is possible to register a firearm as a foreigner here. You won't be bringing your firearm with you when you move. I can guarantee you that. It takes about 2 to 3 years. It's a maximum 3 handguns or long guns as far as a shotgun. They're very specific there per person. You need to use a facilitator or you will never see your guns again. I know people waiting 7-8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a whole procedure you got to go through. You got to take photos of them, find a safe place in the state to keep them. The photos come here. The facilitators get those to the right department and the police. Then when they're shipped here, they actually ship to the police department. I don't think what division is that, Oscar?
Tejota.
Yeah, to the Tejota. And the process starts. Then you have to go get training. You have, even if whatever you have in the States doesn't matter, by the way. So training, psych evaluations, stuff like that.
It's a long process.
It's a long process, and not cheap.
And not cheap. In Latin America, like Rod said, we don't have that culture of owning guns. Some people that own guns, especially me coming from Colombia, it is only people that have guns are the good people and the bad guys. Civilians, we just don't. Doesn't resonate with civilians to own a gun. So either somebody used to belong to the force or has to work with the security company, bodyguard, stuff like that. So that's why it's very difficult to get permits because they really, it's just part of the regulation, very strict with the regulations. And to carry a gun, you have to go through a lot of tests, psychological tests, and all kind of things.
Perfect.
A whole different situation.
Okay, let's move on. I'm going to ask this question. You guys listen. You guys answer it. This is from Sharon. I am doing my due diligence to find out whether Panama is okay for me. I'm a single senior woman and she's looking for a permanent retirement destination. Mm-hmm. I've heard a lot of great things about Panama, but let's be honest, there's always the not so good. Can you, on your Q&A, include what are the disappointments that expats may experience or have encountered when moving to Panama?
Well, one of the disappointments is all about the mindset. When you come into a country in Latin America, it's because you want to change. Rather is a lot of people want to do the change based on political views or just because you're tired shoveling snow in winter. It can be either. But when you move into Latin America, first thing you need to realize is that this is a whole different country, a different way to handle things. We call it here like the Panama style, meaning it's like mañana, and mañana doesn't mean tomorrow. So a lot of people that come from North America, they still have the high expectations that things are going to be done as fast or as efficient. There is a lot of good things that happen in Latin America or here in this country of Panama, like the quality of services might be different. What else? Like some items you cannot find here. We do have sometimes power goes off. If a pipe is broken, well, you might lose water sometime, maybe never. So just kind of like the things that sometimes I find them more disappointing with their expats, just the things they're used to get, but sometimes they don't get it or they don't get it as good like they used to.
Yeah, sometimes those small inconveniences can pile up, and that's probably the majority of complaints we get.
Yeah. So the best way to describe it is this country.
You have to have a lot of patience.
But also is an opportunity for any single of you, like even myself. I come from another Latin American country where my country is slightly bigger, and I come from a big city. We have a lot of things that are more developed than what it is probably here in Boquete or even in Panama City. But I love it here. This gives me a lot of luxury in different ways. I can, Panama, just this country is so aged, the location. You can go from the mountains to the beach in an hour or two. Mm-hmm. And you can go from always to Pacific to Atlantic in 3 hours time frame. Mm-hmm. So it's like
the people that love it here, that's the mindset that they have. It's a give and take, but they're looking more at the positive of what Panama has to offer more than the inconveniences which often is like it just takes longer to find a certain item at a store or get certain paperwork done.
Or sometimes over some type of service. But for instance, like mechanics, like here in Panama, it's hard to find sometimes a good mechanic. But once you get one, it is amazing, and it's also super affordable. You can build a full engine, do all the labor for only what would cost you, right? Like $1,000 to rebuild the engine.
Yeah, about that. Since I just paid that.
But you know, like that kind of labor in North America would be a lot more.
It's like $15-20 an hour here.
Imagine that
for mechanical labor.
So there is a lot of things. There is so much beneficial here. Also medical procedures. If some of you cannot apply for insurance, well, guess what? The procedure might be the same or less that you copay back in North America, in the United States.
So back to the question, like the things are the disappointments. I think the most of the disappointments come from not knowing what you're getting into.
That's very true.
And you guys here, I'm proud of all you guys. You're spending your time. You're coming to these Q&As. You're getting all your research. You're finding out the truth about what Panama's really like before you put your house for sale and buy your plane tickets. And we have people that have done that, and they land here, and oh my God, they don't speak English here. So they're disappointed. So that happens a lot. By the way, I was cruising through the chat here. I apologize, folks. When I was saying that you're looking for permissions for the pop-up to speak, you have to, if you want to ask your question, I need you to raise your hand, and not like that. Because I can't see you. I need you to, right beside where you type your message in the chat, you see the emoji, the happy face, click on that. And then you will, like right at the bottom of the chat, then you'll see raise my hand. And then now, see, Vicky has her hand raised, and we can go to Vicky, and we can ask Vicky to have her computer will now be asking her to have access to her microphone and camera, and then she can join us. So once Vicky is joining us, we're going to ask the next question. What sort of plumbing does Panama have, especially areas outside Panama City? Are there modern sewer lines or septic tanks that require emptying?
The second one.
Yeah, the second one. It's virtually all septic tanks.
Panama City is the only one that has a sewer system.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hola, Vicky.
Hola, Vicky. We'll get to you in 1 second, okay? And Megan, is the water? Megan has lived in. Did you do the Peace Corps thing? I was busy. Sorry, on technical stuff.
I talked about it.
She lived everywhere in Panama. Do Panamanians drink the water here?
Yes.
Yes.
But usually most of the water systems in the communities are treated with chlorine. You still want to make sure you have a great filter. You can't just drink from the tap anywhere in Panama.
Some areas you can, but very rare areas like
Panama City you can.
Or Pedacin. Most of the water from wells and
certain places it's perfectly safe. But
it would be considered by WHO as potable, but so is all of Canada's. And I've never drank Canadian city water. I just won't. There's who knows what's in there. Okay. Hi, Vicky. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. You guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Because audio and video on this end is very choppy.
Okay, we can hear you.
Okay, great. My question is, I was unable to get a pensionado visa, so I'm here for the 6 months. Is it like on the dime that you have to leave? So if I came in to Panama June 7th, do I have to leave December 7th? Is there a leeway, or will I get in, some kind of trouble if I'm not out at the point?
You need to count 180 days from your passport stamp and leave the day before that. Like if it's 180 days, it's not 6 months, it's 180 days. That's a difference of almost a week there sometimes, depending on the time of the year. And then you leave for your 30 days on the day before that. So stay 170 days.
Glad I asked.
I swear to God, the customs guys in the beginning when I was first
They'll
here,
do it.
they count.
They do count.
It takes them a long time because
Yeah.
if they would have done 6 months, that would have been simpler.
Yeah.
But it's
So
not.
they do count the days, and if you, for some reason you pass those 180 days, you need to go to the immigration and register the passport and pay a fine. It's only $50 per month extra.
And the problem is they no longer do that at the airport. So if you're 1 day late, you lose your flight.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to let you through, and they're going to make you go to immigration and pay your fine.
Yeah.
Glad I asked. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Vicky. So, folks, that wasn't that scary. If anyone else wants to ask their question, you can. We will get on to the next one. Oh, yeah. Insurance for hospitals in Panama. This is from Jenny. We are both in our 80s. And don't be shocked, folks. We have a lot of people that have come on our tours in their early 80s.
Yeah.
We had Judy moved to Coronado. She was 83. Oh, God, I hope she's not on the call and making me tell her that. Okay. Jade, we also have to ask people to unraise their hand. But so the next one would be Jean. You can connect Jean if you want.
Okay.
Okay. As we're asking this next question. So, Jenny wants to know, people in their 80s, what's available for hospital insurance. Today, nothing. But there is a company, it's called Family Medical, if you can believe it. It's underwritten by Pan Pacific Life. So you can Google that, Pan Pacific Life, one of the biggest insurance companies in the West, and Family Medical. And they work with the, what hospital in Panama City in Coronado? What's it called? The hospital in Coronado in Panama City.
Why I can't remember?
San Fernando in the city in Coronado area, and both Cherokee and May Lewis hospitals in here in the Boquete area, and they have very reasonable rates. They used to be, before the pandemic, no age limit. Then because of the pandemic, they dropped to 65. They're now at 75. So we're looking probably in the next month or two, them back up to 80, maybe 85, and maybe hopefully next year, unlimited again. And they are kind of a copay type insurance. I don't like calling it insurance. I call it like a discount program where you only pay 30% of the hospital's fees. And that includes you only pay 30% of your doctor's visit. You only pay 30% of your test, stuff like that. So that's the answer to that one. And Jenny's also asking about organizations like Shriners, Shrine of North America, Daughter of the Nile, Order of the Eastern Star for ladies. Have you heard of any of those in Panama?
No.
Panama has.
I know there's some organizations, but
they have Rotary Lions. Who else?
There's Sor Esperanza.
Yep. Somebody want to get that? Hey,
we got
that's
Jean
Jean.
on. You know who you're talking to.
Jean, your phone's ringing. We can hear you. If you can mute yourself for a sec and then come back.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, and so and they have English versions of Rotary here. They have English clubs, but most of it is in Spanish. And the Oriental Shrine of North America, Panama's not in North America, so it's probably not part of that one.
Yeah.
So I have not seen any Shriners in Panama. Usually you see them in the hotel rooms because they're up in the middle of the night partying. It's fun to be a Shriner. My dad was involved in them. Okay, Jean, you can unmute yourself if you are.
No, he's unmuted.
Perfect.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes,
sir.
you can.
Okay, how are you guys?
We are great. We're looking forward to having you.
On July
Yeah.
the 21st, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. My wife and I get pretty excited.
Beautiful.
Listen, I wanted to ask you, do we have to have a power converter to connect to regular power there, or are you on 110 volt?
110.
110. Same like a US.
110.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Good. Okay. That's less packing.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you, and congratulations, you guys, on your wedding.
Thank you
you
so
so
much,
much.
sir. Thank you so much.
We're looking forward to seeing you.
We'll see you next month.
Yes.
All right, Gene.
Thank you very much.
It's gonna be very soon. Thank you so much, Gene.
Okay, Gene. And once we are off, if you don't mind going back to the chat and unraising your hand. Okay, I got one more question here that I want to hit up from the pre-tour people, and then we're going to hit into the questions if you want to look at those, Megan. Okay. Jack asks, our problem is we need to rent a car and have heard horrible stories of airport rental car companies in Panama. Okay. I've also heard many horrible stories about car rental places at the airport. How many times do you think the two of us have rented at the airport in the last 10 years?
Whew. I lost that count.
More than 100,
Probably.
easily.
Yeah.
There's no horrible thing. And the fees are not exorbitant. Currently, on our last rental, I was looking at some of the last year's tax stuff. It's like $2.25 a day airport fee.
Mhm.
So it's usually cheaper than going all the way into town in a taxi to rent from somebody in there.
Yeah.
The horrible thing about airports all car rental agencies in Panama, all the majors at least, is they are required by law to charge you a minimum $25 a day insurance.
Mhm.
And that was someone lobbied the government for it and got it, and your credit card does not cover you. Even if you think it does,
Yeah.
it doesn't. Even if you somehow convince the guy after a 45-minute argument at the counter that your credit card will, if you write it off that car, your credit card won't. It's a law in Panama. And it's not just Panama. There's many countries around the world have implemented this law about mandatory liability insurance.
Yeah, Colombia does the same thing.
Yeah.
Too. Costa Rica.
So it will cost you between $45 a day for a little Picanto to $75 a day for a nice SUV in Panama.
Mhm.
If you're just looking for a 3, 5, 10-day rental. There are, however, lots of companies that have come up. If you guys are coming here for a longer time, let us know that they're private companies with private insurance that are renting by the month at a lot more reasonable rates than that, for as little as $25 a day total.
Mhm.
Yeah, like $700-800 a month.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't even know us, like I'm sure there are some people, because people join from Facebook. I'm going to put into the chat. I should have really had Megan do this. She types much faster. And
And we've also heard
Thank
people
you.
having issues by going through like third-party booking sites, and then it not being the price that they paid online
Yeah,
because they have to pay
which it
that
won't
extra
be.
insurance.
Yeah.
And so people do get really frustrated about that.
Yeah, if you want to, I put our email address. You can go either to the website, retiringpanamatours.com. We got lots of information. You can fill in forms there. We will get your answer to you, and we don't charge for answers. And but the best place if you're going to rent a vehicle here to know the real cost is, let's say you like budget. Well, Google budget Panama. Go to their local Panama website.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It'll be both in English and Spanish.
Same with
So,
National
National Panama,
with
Alamo Panama.
Alamo Panama.
Yeah, that's
You have to make sure you're in
they will
Panama.
show you the actual amount you're going to have to pay.
Mhm.
Because if you just go to budget.com or Travelocity or one of these places,
Expedia.
they won't show you the insurance. They'll say, hey, you're getting a car for $7 a day. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
Okay.
are not.
So if anyone else wants to raise their hand and ask the question, feel free to. We got a bunch that Megan's going to start reading because it's too far away for me to see.
Yep.
I got
some come-
4 monitors, and we got 4 monitors in front of us, and the one I was reading from is right beside me, so I can actually see it.
The first one I noticed was from John. What's the COVID situation in Panama currently?
Well, I was starting to sneeze earlier today, so I don't think it's me. No.
A lot more laid back.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more laid back. We currently have like actual numbers. Yeah, we're in the middle of a peak like the rest of the world. Ours is finally going down, but we only have 33 people yesterday in our ICUs. and under 200 in our hospital. That is less than 15% of our capacity.
Countrywide.
Yeah, countrywide. So we there are still wearing masks indoors, and I don't even call it a mask mandate now because a lot of people still wear them outdoors.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing's going to happen. They're going to remove the indoor thing. You're still going to see the people who want to wear them. So,
Which is fine. Everyone is free to if that was to make them feel safe.
I like the grocery store masks because people don't recognize you as much. So you can get through there and get your stuff done, and you don't have to talk to anyone. You can hide behind. I can put a big like a balaclava on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Need to get some
Let's
lovely for you that
see.
shit.
Yeah, somebody did complain about your chair, Rod. We keep forgetting to WD-40 it.
Is my chair squeaking?
Yes.
No, I did not hear my chair once.
Oh boy.
And the whole crowd here's my chair. Sorry. Squeak.
Okay, I think from a different John, we had another question. If you decide to build later, do you folks have contacts for reputable builders, contractors? Mostly, yeah. Depends where you're looking to build. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got people around Boquete, all the way like Cherokee, down in Petitcie. Most people don't build in Panama City and Coronado because there's so much inventory there to choose from. But yeah, we have definitely have those contacts. Definitely, you want to interview more than one. Depending on your style, what you're doing, and your budget. Like you can build here. We run through these numbers all the time, and these are current numbers. We have people building right now from $90 a square foot to $135 a square foot. Now, the difference there is the quality of the build, obviously. $135 a square foot, which is really crazy. I know a lot of U.S. people are going, what? It's $400 here. Yeah, I know. That's a high-end build. That's that's European tiles. Faucets, like really nice granite, like really nice build. There's a pool in the backyard. There's like all those things. Where a $90 build, our good friends that just built up in Howard Mule just at the end of. I'm horrible with names, folks, but anyways, they're moving in August, and their build came in by a local, very popular architect at $90, but it's very basic. It's North American style, definitely, with nice cabinetry, granite, proper windows with screens and tinted glass and stuff like that. So, yeah. So we do know a lot of people that have built, and we know a lot of people not to refer you to, and a lot to refer you to. Okay, we got Deborah raising her hand.
Yeah.
Let's grab Deborah.
We'll turn on your
Okay,
mic.
we're going to turn you on first, Deborah, so you can say yes to that, and we're going to answer the next question as we wait for you to join us.
Yep. So from Gio, wants to know how to find out what area of Panama is best for him or her. If you like the beach, but also like being close to a city with stores, coffee shops, where would be the best place to live to be able to enjoy both?
Well, the best way
Probably
to do it is you come and visit
check it out.
check it out. If you want to do a tour, that's one of the best ways to do it and see the different main areas of the country has to offer.
The beaches area outside of Panama City and Coronado area is going to be definitely a place you want to stop at for beach and close to city and shopping.
Yeah.
That's going to give you the most options for amenities.
Or you can take one of our tours. We stop in 8-9 locations in 6.5 days. And basically show you the best of the best. Yeah. Some people stay after for a week too and backtrack to the places they liked most.
Yeah.
But yeah, just get here. Like, don't consider YouTube your source.
Yeah.
Just get here and check it out somehow.
Yeah.
Deborah Small, how are you?
Deborah?
Hello. I just retired 2 weeks ago.
Nice. Congratulations.
Cheers to
Thank you. And congratulations on your marriage, your wedding. Thanks for sharing your pictures. I enjoyed them. They were beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
How can we help you tonight? What questions? do you
Okay. I had a question about my passport. I plan to come to Panama in April of next year. I would really like to have my paperwork done and stay and live there. I like to be done sold my house and my car and everything. But I'm concerned about my passport. It expires in November of the same year. And I'm from Maryland / DC. So should I get it renewed like at the beginning of next year? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're 10-year passports now, Deborah. Get it renewed, and you don't have to worry about it. Because
Yeah.
here, you got to go through the embassy here. It takes a few months or at least a few weeks, and you can't fly without it. So just get it renewed a year early.
Yeah, get renew. It's the easiest. Why not? Maybe if you decide to do a trip this year, spontaneously, you can do it.
Yeah, and if you are flying here within 180 days of the expiration date, you won't be allowed to fly in
Yeah.
because your passport will expire before the end of your tourist visa would be up.
Yeah.
So you don't want to cut it too close.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to take that chance. My 10 years is almost up from when I first got it.
Yeah.
Just get it done. I mean,
Yeah.
I've renewed my US passport here and it took about 6 weeks and it was a pretty easy, simple process. But since you'll have so much going on at that time, better get it done now so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, and start right away. They're taking 90 days to renew passports in the States. They're not
Yeah.
exactly fast right now.
Oh yeah, wow. That's
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So I also was the one that had put down, do they have any place that does hair salon and nail salons? You know, I hear them talk about stores and food and groceries and things like that. But I don't know how to do my own hair.
Well, you can see.
I got braids because I don't know how I have long hair and it's soft and it just, if the wind goes this way, it goes that way. If, and I heard it's windy.
Same problem, Deborah. Same problem as you.
Huh?
I have the same problem as you.
Oh, you do?
But Megan will talk about the hair, not me.
No, there are salons all over. I mean,
Okay.
especially the women, they love to go to the salon here.
Okay. I hope they have some that could like do the braid thing because I like the braids.
Yes.
They're probably a little cheaper than where you are.
I know there was someone that they were bringing from Bocas, a woman, specifically to do braiding here every couple of weeks. I'm not sure if she's still coming, but that's in Boquete. In Panama City and some of the larger areas, plenty of options.
Okay. That sounds good. Thank you so very much.
Sure.
You're very welcome, Deborah. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you for joining us.
Okay. Bye-bye. Did I put my hand down?
Oh yes, you can lower your hand now. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to bring Barry on. Barry, my good buddy Barry. Let's see what we're going to talk about now. Okay. Ask the next question. Barry, we have accepted your request to talk. So you just got to accept on your microphone and camera and make sure they get turned on. And we're going to ask the next question.
Yep. Next question is from Alicia about real estate in Panama. How much for escrow and who holds escrow? Good question.
Yes, there's not an escrow like you used to in the States. Okay. It's a totally different system here. This is which I know Mike could only be on in the morning. I'm going to send you guys Mike's contact details because you can email in questions like that. But in Panama, the money is held by you, typically your attorney. And there'll be a deposit paid at the signing of the agreement, no matter what, how it's ready. And if you don't have a bank here in Panama, you can move the money into your all lawyers, especially real estate lawyers, will have a special escrow bank account. So it's not the escrow companies that we have back in the U.S. and in Canada. It's not done like that at all. Actually, it's not done like that in Canada at all. So it's more, escrow is more of a U.S. thing. So there's no fee for the escrow, put it that way. But you hang on to your money until, well, you and your lawyer, until everything is done, and then the transfer gets sent to the seller or the seller's lawyer, depending on their situation. Barry, how are you?
You're muted, Barry.
Oh, Barry, you got to unmute yourself. Just hit on the red microphone. Barry's also coming with us in July.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
Still mute.
Is it unmuting for you?
Would be just the microphone button at the bottom.
Yeah, it's just at the bottom. You got to click the red microphone to turn it green.
I think they're on their cell phone.
Yeah, it might be a little.
No.
There, I got it.
Oh,
There you
perfect.
go.
Oh, there we go.
You there. Hey, guys.
Hi, how
Hello
are you?
there. Finally figured this thing out.
Or I've talked to you enough. Yeah.
So the question we have for you, we're selling everything, our acreage, our business liquidation, the whole 9 yards.
It's all gone bye-bye.
It's all going bye-bye. And we're trying to figure out how we get these freight forwarders motivated to talk to us. It's been over 4.5 weeks, and we're just a little concerned about whether we're not going to be able to move there in September.
Yeah, they're not responding to emails or phone messages.
Yeah. I'm not going to say that's expected, but yeah, it is. They're really busy now. Right now, you're not a priority. But I have, you guys were going to hear from me this week because I just finished a long, several month due diligence of another company I want to send you to, like a third. I want you to know you got your other two that you're looking at other sources. And this guy is going to handle you. Yeah, this guy's going to handle you personally. And, I think, is he going to be cheaper? Well, I guess we're going to find that out. Hopefully he will. We know, like you guys got the sticker shot. Moving to Panama now, guys, if you want to ship a container, is 3 times more than it was a year ago. 3 times.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So it is, prices in shipping and containers have really, really gone up. But that's typically the way these guys work. I've had this complaint over and over again. The people I gave you guys are the 2 best guys in Panama. There's no doubt about it. And they're not really worried about you until 60 days before your container arrives. And during that time frame, you'll have the guy's cell phone number. You can phone him at home at night. But until then, they're not even worried about you because they got more business than they can handle right now. So you almost have
Understood.
Yeah. Like especially with what's their name with Mexico movers. I've referred them in the past. The guy keeps emailing me, stop sending people to me. I can't handle them all. But he knows the ones that I do send, are going to get looked after. So
Thank you. Well, we're almost thinking of purchasing a C-can and going that route because it's still going to cost about 35 G notes, I guess is what we've been told over the phone.
44.
44. Yeah.
Well, the 35 would eliminate your loading costs and stuff like that because you could have it sit there for a month and do it yourself. Just make sure you get it approved by whoever wants to move it, that it's in good enough shape.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've checked that out already.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can I ask another question?
Yes, you
Yes.
can.
Okay, so my aunt, she's 71, and because of the cost of living here, she is still working full time, and it's about killing her. So she wanted to know if she comes down and stays with us for a couple weeks, like, can she apply for her visa, her retirement visa? Then she's got her CPP, her OAC, and her nurse's pension. But she thought she could just kind of move in with us for a little bit and apply then and then rent a place. Can she do that?
Well, she can do that. The problem in Canada is with your offices that do the notary stuff. They're really slow now. They're performing really badly. It's almost better is if she's going to apply for residency to get her criminal background check and all that stuff done a month before she comes here, because she can physically. Well, you have one of those offices right in Calgary, so it's not really an issue of getting that stuff done. But if she's not sure yet, it can be done from Canada. It just seems to be a lot of $90 overnight courier envelopes happening.
Okay, so
It can save some money
So-
if she did the process before.
okay, so as long as she comes down and she's staying with us, she can apply right there.
Yeah. She can apply here. Yeah.
He's just saying that if she wants to get the paperwork together before she comes down.
If she wants to get her
it'll
pension letters
make her life
done,
easier.
her criminal background checks, and get all that stuff authorized by the Canadian, and I keep want to say inspection agency. That's not it. And the
It has to be apostille.
Panama, and at the Panama consulate, get all that done before she comes. But if she's not sure yet, then I advise her to wait until she comes down here.
Oh, no, she's sure. She
Yeah.
just wants to do it while she's down there.
She's selling everything.
Yeah, and so she needs a driver's abstract as well. Like, do we need that?
Yeah, we need that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we.
But you guys are coming August 4th, right? No, July.
Oh,
18th of July.
18th of July. My dates are so we got so many tours between now and the end of August. So you will know for sure yourselves. You're going to sit down with the immigration lawyer there. You're going to meet her.
Yeah.
And and then when you go back, you guys can all get all your stuff ready in August for when you return
Yeah.
to them.
yeah, and we're staying till the 6th of August, as you're
Yeah.
probably well aware already.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we just make sure that we have rooms for then.
All right, that's all we have for now.
I think so.
Right, guys. Great to see you.
Thank-
Anything you need,
See you.
give me a shout. We're there.
See you in a month.
Congrats to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. What is next on the list there, Megan?
Yes, the next question was very funny to me. And also I'm not sure about the answer. Maybe you guys know. Kevin, are psychedelic retreats legal yet in Costa Rica, like in Costa Rica, Colombia, etc.? I'm not
I
sure.
don't know what you mean by what kind of
I think
systems,
kind
but
of I'm guessing like a lot of people are going now to Peru to do like
Ayahuasca.
ayahuasca retreats. Those
I
types of
know
things.
I know here there is some areas they have done ayahuasca, but it's nothing like Costa Rica or Colombia or Peru.
I know
Yeah, people
most
here seem to go there to do that stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes people bring in a shaman or somebody who does it, but
But I don't know if they're illegal here.
I don't know.
You know,
But because
I've never-
that I don't know, ayahuasca is not, I don't know, it's a root.
not-
So
yeah, it's
it's
not
not
really
treated,
a legal
it's
drug.
not treated like other.
Yeah, it's not considered a drug like in Panama.
Right, like weed,
Marijuana is
uh-huh.
still illegal in Panama.
Yeah, or other systems. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So that one, I would say no.
Mhm.
It's pretty much a gray zone if we're talking about ayahuasca, but most people actually, even from here, from Panama, they go to Peru or Colombia
Ecuador.
or Ecuador. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. What else?
Okay. Does
Okay.
Panama have retirement homes? That's a great question we get all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah. Have you
They
actually
consider them, we call them the old folks homes, retirement homes. In Latin
Geriatric.
America, you call them geriatric homes.
Mhm.
They're not as popular here as you would expect.
No.
Like, not at all.
No.
It's typical Latin American culture that your parents live out their last days with one of the siblings.
With the kids.
Yeah. Or they hire a private nurse to take care of them
Mhm.
in their homes.
For under $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
That live there. So, but for those of you entrepreneurs on the call, Oscar and I are always looking for business. Now, I really think with all the tens of thousands of expats that have moved here in their 50s and 60s, what's the one thing in common they have? They're getting older every year. They're going to need a service like that. So someone's going to do it.
Someone's
It's a
gonna
matter
do it.
of there's a place in David now. Magda, our insurance agent, told me about it. It has 21 beds. It's what would be considered a high-end, full-service home. And the last number I heard a year ago was $1,200 a month. Now, all you on this call, myself, my parents were in one. We all know that's $4,000 back home.
Mm-hmm.
But you can do it here just because of the cost of labor, the cost of nursing, the cost. You can do it at very affordable prices. And
Yeah.
my answer to that question always is, it doesn't really exist much now, but it will in the future, because if there's a need for it,
Yeah.
it will happen.
It will be a need. And eventually there has been an attempt to be like that. I know in Boquete used to be one in Alto Boquete, but I never
It's
noticed.
actually moved.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I found out where it is. It's just down the street from us.
Oh,
okay.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I know. They moved that sign that actually had a spelling mistake on it. Well, sorry, grammar mistake. Okay. That's what I remember. Okay. We have. Okay. Sorry. I saw a question I wanted to answer here. Joss and Bine, how are you? If you decide to invest the $200,000 in a friendly nation's visa into a Panama National Bank, can it be with Global Bank? Yeah, it can be with any of Panama's chartered banks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not an issue at all. You want to shop around, because there is difference of 1 to 1.5% interest rates being offered on a 3-year CD. So you definitely want to shop around. It does not have to be a bank that you're already dealing with. Obviously, it probably isn't. They will set up a savings account for you, because if you're opening a CD, you're in the process of residency, so you're following all the requirements, and they will automatically they have to set you up a savings account, because that's where the interest gets put every month. Interest on CDs do not build on the CD. The CD is the face value only. So some banks are paying up to 5% here. So that could be like $1,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got some hands raised. Who's raising hands? We got Clarence. Clarence, we are going to unmute you. We're going to take the next call, give you time to connect. Or sorry, we're going to take the next question.
Next question was from Alicia. Any help on international transfer of money? There's a major disconnect between my US bank and Panama bank. Swift code nightmare.
Yeah, that's interesting, Lisa.
They're doing Lisa.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
We're going to answer Clarence's first. Hey, guys.
Gosh, I guess. Hi, you guys. Oh, gosh. Yeah, we were having trouble logging in and getting the video, so.
Well, it worked.
All right, but we're here. Hi.
Hi, Clarence and Tito.
What do you... Hey, what about me?
Francis.
I know. Anyway, congratulations, you two, on your marriage and on the upcoming Bambino. And we're very happy for you. I just want to say we've already taken your tour. I wouldn't mind doing it again, actually. But it was a wonderful experience, and we've been happy where we are. I keep hearing an echo, but that's okay. Anyway, I forgot what I was going to say. When are you guys back in Coronado?
This Saturday.
Yeah, Oscar.
This Saturday I'll be there.
Okay, well, we're in Coronado, so maybe we'll meet you. Are you going to be at the country club?
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Give us a call.
Yes, I will. I will. Looking forward to see you guys. How's the knee doing?
Very good. Actually, it's my good knee now. The other knee is the one that aches. But I'm back on the golf course, so hey.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wonderful.
All right,
Happy
guys.
for you, my dear.
Great to see you as always.
I'll see you on Saturday.
See you
Later.
Love you guys.
Clarence and Tito, folks.
Francis and Tito.
Francis and Tito. They moved here over 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
And they actually took our tour the week after they moved here. That was the strangest thing. They wanted to see all of Panama, and they felt that was their best connection to do it, and it worked great for them. They really enjoyed it. They got to experience a little more, learn more about Panama.
As a matter of fact, it for me was pretty much an honor, because Tito was born and raised here in Panama his first 18 years of his life, and then he was his father worked in the Panama Canal. So for me, it was very privileged for him to show us, trust us. That he kind of like reconnect with his country, with his people. And even here that I'm not Panamanian, but I feel like a Panamanian. I've been here over 10 years, so I can kind of like be the bridge. We are the bridge between the two cultures. So they helped him a lot to him to reconnect with his roots, and now he is full living the Panamanian style.
Woohoo! Right on.
His Spanish
Okay.
also very improving.
We have a question from Alicia about banking and wire transfers. Now, I'm going to go a little bit into detail because we don't talk about this much. How do you get your money here? It's really not that complicated, but the banks here even complicate things more.
Yeah.
Number one thing to remember, Elisa, you don't need an intermediate bank, whatever your bank tells you, unless you're dealing with Bud Tussle, Tennessee Credit Union, the one credit union with one branch. Okay, then you're probably going to need an intermediate bank. But if you're dealing with any of the 50 majors in the US or the 10 in Canada, you don't need an intermediate bank. All you need is the SWIFT code of your Panama bank. And Panama banks are not like the US and Canada. We don't have routing numbers. So when you send a wire, you put the following information. You put your name and your address, the way it is on your bank account. Then it's going to ask for your bank's name and your bank address. You Google your bank's head office in Panama City. That's the address you use. And you put the SWIFT code in. So the account number, the first 6 digits of your account number tell you where in Panama you are. So they don't need a routing number to get to your branch. Like our branch is 496699, whatever it is. Like our Banco de General branch in Boquete. So I don't know, Elisa, what other problems, because I just lost the question now right there.
Didn't go into
SWIFT code
specifics.
nightmare. See, you don't need SWIFT codes. Like a lot of people listen to the bank and use an intermediate bank. All that's going to do is cost you $20 more in fees. So just skip directly from your bank to Panama's bank using the address of the bank's head office in Panama City and the SWIFT code. Every bank only has one SWIFT code in Panama. Banco General has 25 locations, one SWIFT code.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. There's
And
no
you want to,
extra.
you have to go in
anything
person as well too, right?
No. Oh no,
Just
no,
that-
they're sending money here.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's trying to send money here. International transfer between my US bank and unless you're trying to send money there. No, it shouldn't. That's very simple. You don't need any intermediate bank there. So if I didn't answer the question, or if you had some answers to my questions to you, Elisa, please type them in or raise your hand and we can bring you on the screen.
But she has to be set up for international wires.
Yes, but she says she's having a SWIFT code nightmare. The only time I've seen that is if you're using multiple SWIFT codes with intermediate banks.
Okay.
Then they have a problem.
That could be it. Great. Alrighty.
Okay, next question. Who's pounding them out here?
So from Chris, if you travel back and forth regularly from the USA to Panama, does your 180 days reset each time you return?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But technically, if you did that, let's say once a month, you had to travel home for a weekend. That was your business. I think after a year, 2 years, immigration has the right to say no at any point. Because it's called perpetual tourism, that you're staying in the country for longer than excess period of time. And, you could leave, like a lot of people leave every 3 months because your driver's license is only good here for 3 months. So after 3 months, they leave for 3 days and come back. And they feel they can stay like that forever. It doesn't always work that way. Mm-hmm. And the worst part is if immigration feels you are a perpetual tourist, like not on vacation. Tourist means vacation. So if they determine you are living here, they can simply say, not admitted, banned from Panama for 2 years. And do you want that to happen if you own a car here and if you have a lease and you got pets and you got family? No, you don't. So you got to be very careful with that perpetual tourism stuff. The law is 180 days out, 180 days in, 30 days out. If you did that over and over again, there's nothing they can do. That's because that is the law.
That's the law.
Generally,
allowed
in
to
the
do that.
first year, nothing's going to happen. If
No.
you're
No,
if you want to find out if Panama's for you or you're waiting to
especially if
collect
you're
your
coming from
pension.
North America, it's not going to be an issue.
Mhm. Yep.
But if they look at your passport, well, they scan your passport, so it comes up on their computer. And like, you've been doing this for 2 years. What's your plan, buddy? Like, and then they're going to question you. Are you working here? You're going to get one of those back room deals you just don't want. So,
Yeah. So in the beginning, shouldn't be an issue at all. But if you are permanently living here, it's definitely worth it to get a visa.
Yeah.
okay, for those of you, I haven't mentioned this in a while because there's quite a few of you on the call, and some of you came in. If you want to answer your question with your microphone, we like seeing all the cool people that are coming on the screen and stuff like that. Just go down at the bottom of the chat, right where you type your message. You see a happy face, a emoji. Click on that, and then click on raise your hand. Once you have raised your hand, then we can give access to your microphone and your camera. Okay, let's get the next question,
We still
Megan.
got a lot in the chat. Let's see.
Yeah.
So from Steven, what type of phone do you recommend with 2 SIM slots? And which U.S. carrier is preferred? Which
There we
Panama
go.
carrier is preferred?
Is that the same? That's Stephen J. Bernard. Let's bring him on live and let's talk about phones. Cell phone
Perfect.
service is a great topic to have in this call. Oscar, could you get me some water? I'm just dying here. Thank you.
Parched.
It's not because Oscar's my slave. It's because I can't get out this side of the desk. So it's just that thing. Hey, Stephen, if you want to come on, you can. We're going to start answering your question. Dual SIM, any good dual SIM. Obviously, I'm an Android fan. I have a S10 dual SIM phone. Now, I only have a US SIM card in here. Well, it's actually an international SIM card from Europe because of the business. Other than that, I would have no need for it because my advice to people is just to port your US. If you're going to move here permanently, port your US number over to Google Voice.
There they are.
And then you can have free, hey guys, then you can have free US cell phone service here and a Panama SIM in your phone. So dual SIM for me, since this business needs an international number, we have European numbers, Canadian numbers, so I do have a second SIM on my phone. So, but for most people, you won't need it unless you're only living here part-time.
I travel back to the U.S. a couple times a year,
Thank
and
you.
actually my local Panama carrier, I have an unlimited plan for $30 a month here in Panama, and it includes international roaming in the U.S.
Yeah.
So I don't need a U.S. SIM when I go back.
Now, if you're going to live in Panama 6 months out of the year and live in the States 6 months out of the year, then your options, you got a couple good options. Google Fi is my favorite. Google Fi. It's a SIM card program. It's very inexpensive. They only allow you to be out of the country 6 months consecutively, or they'll cut you off. Then they want you back in the States. But it's data. Like you can get data for like $20 a month, and phone calls are free and Wi-Fi. So that works. And also T-Mobile has a pretty good one. It gets into the $60, $70 with taxes and stuff, but it's still good. But the only problem, what I don't like about T-Mobile is they don't have 4 and 5G data. We don't even have 5G data here. We only have 4G. But T-Mobile gives you 3G data. So
I think that's changing.
Yeah.
well, I know, but it's changing here though. That's what
Gotcha.
it's the roaming partnership they have with them. They're saying, well, if you only paying us this much, we're only giving you this much.
Gotcha.
Our main concern was our friends and family being able to reach us
Yeah.
without having to pay a
If
fortune.
you're moving here perfectly, folks, the best answer is Google Voice. Google Voice is free to sign up. You sign up, you just go to your Google, sign up for Google Voice. They give you a new number. And then about 2 weeks before you move here, you go to the porting section. That's PORT, porting. And then you port your current cell phone provider over to Google Voice. And it takes anywhere between 1 and 5 days. You'll get emails from your provider and from Google Voice that your Google Voice number is now ported, and then you get rid of your original Google Voice number, and you move to Panama with your existing cell phone number you've used for years, but cancel your cell plan. Google Voice doesn't cost anything.
And for you, it will come through calls and texts on Google Voice app
Yeah.
on your phone. But for all of your loved ones, it'll just be a regular text message and phone call.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All your friends don't have to change anything. You're going to have to get used
That would
to.
be good.
Yeah, on the phone, I keep thinking it's over here. So down at the bottom here, you have your phone app. That's your native phone app. Right beside it is the Google Voice app. So if somebody phones my Panama phone, that rings. If someone phones my US Google Voice line, that rings.
And you're doing that with a single SIM now.
I'm doing, well, yeah, that's a single SIM. On my phone, the third one is our international number, which is actually from the country of Estonia, if you can believe it. But no, it allows you to use country numbers from any country in the world. But that's a SIM that I can travel anywhere in the world. That works.
And of course, everyone here uses WhatsApp.
Right.
Yeah, you know that.
Get your friends and family to download WhatsApp. That's another great way, and that has video calling. But of course, there's always those people that don't want to set up the new app on their phone, and it's just complicated and confusing. So with the Google Voice, they can just keep calling that same number, and they'll reach you.
So when are you folks planning on coming to Panama?
A little bit later this summer. We want to come for at least 10 days, maybe a little bit longer.
Sure.
We know what area we want to investigate specifically around Boquete.
Keep an eye out for you.
We'll watch for you. We're always up for a cup of coffee or something if you guys are around.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Actually, if our friends come and visit, one of them looks just like you.
Yes.
There we
Just.
go. I'm sure he's a nice guy then.
Yes, he
Oh,
is.
no.
Stop.
Yes.
Come on, Stephen.
We've been
Don't
friends
be
since
hard on
high
me.
school, so
Yeah, no, great
Yeah,
guy.
okay. Perfect.
Thank you very much for answering
Thank
our
you for
question.
joining us on our Q&A,
Thanks,
and really we
guys.
hope to see you in
Thank you.
Boquete.
Thank
Okay. Nice couple. What's next, Megan?
What is next? Let's see. From Jeanette. Do you offer private tours for just 2 people? How much? How does it work?
We can.
can.
We
It's
do not do budget tours. I'm going to start there. If you're doing a tour with us, it's one of the 3 of us, which one of them just left. Okay, I just pointed to Oscar. Okay, we do all of our private tours because we are the relocation experts. And when I say this, this is not a lie. That we have 25 years combined length of time in Panama, and Oscar and I have been doing this for over 10. So, like helping people relocate here. So we have a lot of experience. So we do the private tours. So if you're looking for a budget alternative, that's not us.
And it's
If you're-
highly likely you'll meet all of us on the
Most other people on our private tours, they have a specific need. They either have a financial need that they need to meet with some top financial
Advisors.
worldwide advisors. We have those connections, and we can set up those meetings for them.
And
Sometimes
also-
it's families with kids that need to
Uh-huh.
meet with private schools. We can
Mhm.
set that up for them. And
Sometimes they really want to focus on finding their ideal real estate.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're looking for that property that they want to
Something
buy.
specific, yeah.
Mhm.
Or just wanted to see the country, feel the country. They just wanted to be private.
Yeah.
They just want to be.
So it
them
will
with us.
cost you, and we're totally transparent here. It will cost you twice as much as what a group tour is going to cost, obviously, because you're having us for that entire week.
Mhm.
And we're always all inclusive. We're going to show you the best properties, and we're not going to have you book a hotel that's going to be crappy and full of bed bugs and stuff like that. So we're going to have a good time. So on our website, back to the website, retireInPanamaTours.com. You got to put it in there, otherwise people. Yeah.
Another benefit of a private tour is sometimes we have people that only want to look at beach towns, or sometimes we have people that only want to look in the province of Chiriquí, like Boquete, David, Volcan, La Barqueta.
Yeah.
So that's another
We
reason
do an
private
exclusive
tours.
3-day Cherokee tour. That's very popular with us.
Yeah.
And we concentrate. You're going to fly right to David, and we take you from there. If you want to spend some time in Panama City and see the tours, we can set up those tours for you. But we start with you for 3 days right in Cherokee, and that's one of our specialty tours. You'll find it right on our website under private tours. Okay.
Okay, we answered that one live. Beautiful.
I want to see
lots of masks here.
one of those up there a little bit. Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know how to do that. Yeah. Okay.
We have a list of questions from Lori.
Okay. Laurie, you should raise
Mostly
your hand. You
about-
can come on.
Mostly about kind of COVID restrictions going on right now.
My apologize. Yeah.
It's about
No, I lost your place, Megan.
there it is. Oh. Are masks required?
I don't know if I'm forward or backwards. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. There we
There
go.
we go.
Are there any restrictions?
Let's answer
The
those
deal with
quickly.
vaccines?
People need to know. So answer each
Mhm.
one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, so you are required to still wear a mask indoors here. So any indoor space, you have to put on a mask. As far as restrictions, entering the country, if you're vaccinated, you just have to show your vaccination card, do a digital health affidavit where you upload your vax card, or get a negative COVID test before you fly into the country if you're unvaccinated. They are still doing vaccinations here in Panama. Is there any way to set up a holistic practice or business in Panama? Most medical professions are reserved for Panamanian citizens, but depending on your offerings, there's a possibility you could find work here in Panama. I know there are a lot of expats that work in holistic medicine here. And you have 2 little dogs. Can you bring a dog with a titers test rather than a vax certificate?
Yeah, no, your dogs must have a rabies certificate, 30
Mhm.
days rabies injection, no less than 30 days before they arrive. That's a huge Central American thing right now as far as requiring rabies tests, or rabies vaccines.
Kevin, you
Okay.
can bring your skateboard.
Kevin, we're bringing a skateboard. Kevin's not with us anymore.
Okay.
Okay, let's ignore all the Kevin questions. We get all kinds in this call.
Let's see.
Rent a car in Boquete. The rent a car in Boquete is right there. I'm pointing out my window. It's the guy we always use. They're called Cowboy Cars. Google them. You'll find it. Cowboy Cars Boquete. They are I just rented for a month, actually. I was having my engine rebuilt, so they're $750 a month. Decent cars. They're a little older. They're in the 2014 to 2016 range, but nice cars, nice people. Best place, in my opinion, to rent from. They're $35 a day. That includes insurance. Cheaper if you rent by the week or month.
Okay, this is a good question about protests from Thomas. He said there's currently violent protests by indigenous in Ecuador. What is the situation in Panama and Chiriquí that keeps the indigenous unhappy and protesting?
Keeps them happy.
Unhappy.
Well, it's a lot
Well, it says
of
keeps them happy.
Keeps them happy. Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, so we do have protests too. They don't typically get violent.
No.
They haven't in a long time.
No, the only thing that happens is they block the road because the government probably has promised them some infrastructure they haven't followed through. One time they were protesting because they just didn't want it to be enforced to be vaccinated, regardless to the COVID vaccination. But that has got cleared up. And recently, the only protest has been here recently in the cities, on some other small towns, will be about the gas price.
Mhm.
Those are the most recent.
Yeah,
That's
it's
Very-
the taxi driver. There's always protests, but the protests in Panama are very, like, since I moved here. Remember when I used to work on Tumba Myrtle, and there's
Mhm.
always got shut down with protests. But people had something to say. They make their statement, then they go home.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Block the
We were
roads
stuck
for
on a
a
tour
few
once for
hours.
4 hours on the highway.
Mhm.
You had
Yep.
12 people stuck in a tour van for 4 hours and not moving anywhere.
Yeah, most of our clients that they actually got the really Panama style.
They got to learn about Panama that way. For
There's,
sure.
we're going through the woods for a find a bathroom.
Yeah, let's get more of you to ask a question online. We like seeing our people. There's 75 or more people here. Let's see some more of your faces, but we got more questions typed too.
Yeah, feel free to raise your hand again. Okay.
Pacific Coast, Caribbean Coast. That's a good topic.
Right.
Well, the Pacific Coast is more developed, way more developed.
Mhm.
You'll find all kinds of sources, amenities, communities. The Caribbean side of Panama is really undeveloped. The only areas you're looking at, it potentially will be north of Panama City, which will be Colón, Portobelo. But Colón right now is still in a rough shape. Hopefully, that city will be transformed in the near future. There is a small community by the other side of the canal, which is called Shelter Bay. It's a marina. And then after that will be just in the province of Bocas del Toro, which most people they go is to the main island of Bocas del Toro, which is also named Colon Island. But all the other towns is very rural. That's the best way to describe. So it's nothing fancy there. It's very countryside. So I will definitely, for if you're like an adventurous person, you don't mind to be in a boat and plan ahead, Bocas Island will be the only option in the Caribbean side of Panama.
Yeah. Mhm.
But on the Pacific, you got Coronado, you got Chitré, you got Pedasí, you got Barqueta, you got Las Lajas. I mean, there's countless areas. They're so developed, and you can have all the luxury or simpler lifestyle.
Yeah, the problem with the Caribbean side, especially for retirees, I know this call is not just retirees. I know you guys are young, the one who asked the question, Jill, but it's not, it's very remote and doesn't have good private access to health care.
Mhm.
You are on Bocas del Toro, there is no private hospital. There's a public hospital. And are you going to get airlifted to David?
No.
Helicopters not around today. So, but on the Pacific side, any of your retirees, there are many beaches you can live at that where you're, 20, 30 minutes from hospitals and ambulance access and stuff like that. Just the Caribbean just doesn't have the development yet.
Yeah.
Or Caribbean. What is right? Caribbean or Caribbean? Let's have a vote. Can we do a poll on this thing? I should have done. I just used both in the same sentence, so I just thought maybe.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Tomato, tomato.
Okay.
And really the islands in the Pacific are just as beautiful as the islands in the Caribbean. A lot of people think, oh, I want the white sand beaches and the blue crystal clear waters.
Yeah, the coast isn't, but the islands are.
Yeah, the Pacific's beautiful.
Okay. Who's next? Multibank is insisting on what? We got banking questions.
This was for follow-up from Alicia. Insists on 2 SWIFT codes to Panama to buy a home.
How could a SWIFT code is the destination bank where the money is going? Now, like I say, Multibank's been one of my banks for 10 years. I send a wire from the US to Multibank on a monthly basis. I've had sent many wires in excess like we run a business here. We have to move money from the US here. So in excess of $10,000, I have Multibank, the address of Multibank's head office in Panama City. And I'm trying to think, MCBC Papa, I think it's their Swift code. No, don't swear by that, but it's 8 characters. Well, I can tell you what, I send it all the time.
And that's so they're insisting on 2 Swift codes to buy a home.
Like it does. Yeah, MCTB Papa is the Swift code for Multibank. That's the only Swift code you would need on a wire transfer if you're setting it up from the US, sending to Multibank here. Now, sometimes the Multibank, they've even told me before, oh, you have to use an intermediate bank. Well, every time I've done that, it takes an extra day for the money to come here and I get an extra charge. So I don't see why they would need that. So it makes no sense to me. Okay. We have, okay. So we're going to see your questions as we're moving forward in the chat, Alicia, to see if that happened. Joanne Trudeau, you can write to Shelf a check from your Canadian. That's actually incorrect. Panama banks will not take Canadian checks here. They will take a personal U.S. check. Typically, you start up to a maximum of $3,000 until you bank there for a while, and it takes 21 days to clear. Next.
Great.
Somebody about a car, like bring a handy here. Oh,
It wasn't a question. It was just I'm bringing a card.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. That's a very open-ended question.
Help. What?
From Mary. How and where do I start my move to Panama?
I think you need to visit Mary.
Yes.
Come for a holiday.
First step,
see if you even like it.
Yeah. First step, visit Panama.
Yeah.
That's the very first step you gotta do.
And if you want the hand holding it,
reach out to us.
Come check us out.
Yeah.
We'll help you visit. We'll show you every spot you might ever want. Does Google Voice work for Canadians? Very good question. You have to sign up for their Google business account, which will be $5 a user, and then it'll work for you. You can't do it for free, unfortunately. But Canadians, some also use Text Now, which is an app. Why I like Google Voice, whatever your opinions on Google and these monster companies, they have grade A bandwidth. I can talk on my 4G data, any conversation, anytime, never have an issue.
We have some more follow-up from Alicia here.
Okay, multi-bank, yes. Well, they don't limit it to 3,000, Alicia. That's where it starts from. Then as you get to know the bank better, you can get manager approval to get higher. Most banks in Panama start at a $3,000 maximum a month check. Seller wants 2% down, $52K, and we're pulling our hair out. I really can't solve this for you on this call tonight, Elisa, but I have no problem having a private phone call with you tomorrow. I know, I don't know where you are in Panama, but I'm personal friends of the manager in Cherokee and Gilda in Boquete. If you're in this area, maybe we can help you. If you're buying a house, you got to make a deposit, so you got to get the money there. So if you want to set up a call with me, our number is right on our website, guys. You can phone it anytime. retireinpanamatours.com. Maybe I can help you.
All right. And another good question from Mary. Is there a site where I can look up local rental locations?
I wish. Besides Encuentro 24, which is very similar to Craigslist, you need to be careful. There's a lot of scammers on there.
Yep.
It's basically get to know some people who are real in the Facebook groups, and then you will find them. That's still the safest place, I think, because there are real people. Like in Boquete, we run expats in Boquete.
Mhm.
And if there's a scammer in there trying to rent something and take deposits from people, we're going to know and we're going to
Yeah.
protect you from them. So you can look at it, but in Cuenta 24 is very Panamanian.
Mhm.
There will be very little English available to you there. Craigslist, a little more English because most of the Americans were used to it.
And the real estate sites will
Mhm.
list their rentals too. They're all good places to look to get an idea of what's available and the prices in the different areas you're looking at. But we would not recommend that you put money down on a rental that
No,
you haven't
God,
seen
no.
yet with
See,
any of
We
those
highly
sites.
recommend rentals agents for your first rental.
Yeah.
Here in Boquete, we recommend Sam Fiera and Coronado, Martha Vitovich. Martha runs Inside Panama Property Management.
Mhm.
So Google that, Inside Panama Property Management. She has up to 75 units available that she rents out. Sam is head of the rentals department of Inside Panama here in Boquete, Inside Panama Real Estate. You can look at Sam's profile. You'll see all the rentals they have. Now, obviously, with rentals, they don't all get up on the website because they go pretty fast sometimes.
Mhm.
So you need to be in her Rolodex. Say, hey, Sam, and like if you're looking to rent something before you get here, you want to go through an agent because she will secure your deposit. They're not going to do anything shady. Like
They'll
know.
do a video call with you
Yeah.
and show you the unit.
Yeah, we're stating this publicly that we back them. They will help you out. Mm-hmm.
A lot of
Okay.
people also just do a
Oh,
VRBO or
goodness.
Airbnb
This thing
to get
doesn't give me
started.
a timer.
Mhm.
Okay, see if we get the last couple questions, or we can do this first and then do the last questions.
Okay.
Because this thing does run out of time because I started it early. Okay, now I get calls. Honestly, this is not a. I get calls daily basis. We get emails daily basis. Hopefully they can see that. Preview, or is it full screen? Nope. Preview. Hopefully that's full screen for you guys. That we're sold out the next April, but we just had a couple in December 1st tour that just found out they got an announcement in the family. Someone's getting married, so they moved to April. So we got a spot in December 1. So you guys, I'm just pasting the link. Are the first to hear. This is going out before the backup list, people. That if you guys want to grab this spot, it is December 1st to 8th, 2022. The spot is for a couple only, unfortunately, right now. If we got any single spots, we will let you know. Do you ever want to get on our backup list? Just go to the website. And if you click on book tours, you will see the link to get on our backup list if you want to come within the next year. People change all the time. We got people with, they find out, oh, I got my knee replacement surgery that week, or someone's getting married, or the grandchild's going for graduation. So we got changes happening all the time. So feel free to get on that backup list if you want to come on one of our tours. Had to do a promotion. Call's almost over. We've given you guys an hour and a half of questions. We really appreciate you guys coming on and asking the questions.
Yeah, thank you so much for all of you, and thanks again for the congratulations to us, and looking forward for the next Q&A.
I know there's still a bunch in there, but if you guys, we'll do another Q&A. If you have any pressing questions, reach out to us.
Yes.
Yeah, there are a few we missed. I'll try to go through them. Currency here is U.S. Treasury bills come out of our bank machines. That's what we use too, even though it's called the Balboa. So Barbara has done her research. And yeah. Alrighty, guys. We're going to say goodbye before we get kicked off this tour. So before we get kicked off this call, thank you guys for so many questions. That's so exciting. We talked earlier about doing on some specific Q&As coming in the future. So watch for some announcements on that. It was great having you all. Thank you all. And you guys
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye bye.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Woohoo.
See you next time.
See you guys. There's still a lot of people out here. Talk soon.